Langston Reynolds from the pole. He rockets to the line, the yard of bricks, and we are underway. Challenge now for the lead. Here's Rainey on the inside. He might get some help from Stearns and Langston behind him. Stearns is going to stay high. Oh, wow, Langston, miscommunication there. He's not out of trouble yet. Trying to hold on to it. Man, he checked up the back half of the top 10 there.
Yeah, he stacked him up pretty good, too.
Yeah, I think he wanted to push Chad Stearns to help Garrett Rainey get up to the lead, but Rainey doesn't need any help. He goes up to P1 by himself.
And McKinnon and Carl have a couple of trucks with fresh tires on them, sitting right behind them. And oh no, Carl's gonna get turned by one of them.
Oh my gosh, Carl is around. The caution is out for the first time.
And I think it was Ryan Dye.
It was. And Michael Carl just came over the radio to tell Chad Stearns that they left his gas cap open. So I think Chad Stearns maybe picked to put his gas cap back on.
I think Carl would like Chad Stearns to pick so they can put that cap back on. But something tells me that's probably not going to be the case.
And 3 seconds quicker than that, Steve Rowe.
Yeah.
Whoa, oh, trouble!
Crawl and Reynolds. Crawls in another incident.
Reynolds up into the wall. No meatball flying, but quite a hit there. Oh, Peterson and Crawl just made contact. Crawl into the wall. Yellow's out again. It has not been Michael Crawl's night here tonight at Indianapolis.
Yeah, certainly a tough go. He's been caught up in 3 different incidents now, and I think that one's going to be the end of his night finally.
Getting ready for a full containment defense here. We'll have to see. Out of the north chute, into turn number 4. Pace truck is about to hang a left. It's Langston on the inside. TJ Bartle hanging back a bit in his second career Venom Truck Series race. On the outside of the front row, coming to green-white checkered attempt number 1, Steve Roman, Andy Poliski behind them. Langston, great restart. Bartle checks up the outside line. Oh, they're wrecking. Jan Van Leer goes around. It's the big one. That is almost the entire back half of the field. That was huge.
That is what you would call a stack up. Goodness gracious.
It all started up front. TJ Bartle did not get a good restart. The entire outside line stacks up. Langston on the inside, Roman on the outside. If Langston can pull it off here, it'd be career win number 10. He'd be the first to double digits. Ellison and Bartle behind them. It's another great restart for Jeff Langston. White flag. Roman closing in again on Langston. He's going to make the move here. Looks low. Langston shuts the door.
Roman got loose out of one. Hopefully it doesn't kill his run down the backstretch here.
Langston got a better exit. It's going to be an uphill battle for Roman, but it's not impossible as McKinnon goes to the inside of Bartle for third. Roman again peeking to the inside of Langston. Nothing happening. Run through the north chute for the final time into turn number 4. Is Langston going to hang on, or is Roman going to get the run down the front straightaway? No momentum out of 4. It's going to be Jeff Langston to the line. He's going to win it at Indianapolis. We made history last week in Indianapolis, but tonight, history be damned, as we've got a field full of drivers who just want to make it to the checkered flag. That may prove to be a tough challenge tonight, as it's time to get down and dirty in Bristol for the Dirty Jobs 80 for round number 6 of the 5th season of the Venom Truck Series. It's Tommy Cook here, my partner, Matt Williamson. The GOAT will be along momentarily to help me call all of tonight's action here on Turn 200. It's the third race in series history here on the dirt at Bristol, and the first two have gone to Nathan Reynolds after he passed the driver who had led the most laps late in the going. So he's looking to go 3 for 3 at Bristol tonight, but he is also looking to go back to the top of the point standings as he has dropped 2 spots after his late race troubles last week in Indy. The new points leader is Jeremy McKinnon, who rallied late in the going last week to a P3 finish. Paul Elson also made some noise late to finish 5th. He now sits second in the point standings ahead of Reynolds. Last week's winner, Jeff Langston, in 4th, and Amy Poliski in spot number 5. We are just a couple of minutes away from heat racing action. Yes, you heard that correctly. Here tonight on the high banks of Bristol Dirt. We'll have the full format details for you when we return to Venom Truck Series coverage here on Turn 200.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by competitors, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight open here now. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the Venom Truck Series, and it is almost time for heat racing action here on the high dirt banks of virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Tommy Cook, and we welcome in the GOAT that is the coolest of all time, Mr. Matt Williamson. The first question I have for you is, did you bring your goggles? Because it's about to get dirty.
Well, I don't think we're gonna need the goggles up in the broadcast booth, hopefully. So I didn't bring mine along, but I should have brought my snake stomping boots because I think I see a snake in the dirt down there.
Oh my God! The format tonight, since it's on dirt and not pavement, it's a little bit different. What do we have on tap for tonight's racing format?
Well, we are on the dirt, and in traditional dirt fashion, we are having heat races here tonight. There are going to be 3 heat races, and the top 3 in points out of those heat races are going to get bonus points. That's something that we don't generally have in the Venom Truck Series, so tonight might be a good night to try to get a little bit of a leg up on some of the competition. We are gonna have qualifying, which just happened, so you do have to qualify into the heat races. And for the race tonight, the racing lineup will be based off the finishers of the heat races not qualifying, and it will be 80 laps long, and you won't need to stop for fuel or anything like that. Also, something that's a little bit different, they're not going to be throwing any cautions for wrecks unless it's like a big pile up that's kind of blocking the track.
Yeah, we've never seen any of those here with the Venom Truck Series.
Yeah, don't go watch last week.
Okay. Okay. Something we typically don't see as well is this many newcomers in the middle of the season. We've got 3 drivers that are looking to make their Venom Truck Series debut here tonight. Also, one returning driver that we've not seen yet this season, Brandon Vyers, who is out making his qualifying attempt right now. I want to give a shout out here while we got a couple of minutes. Thanks to Shadow Branch for hanging out with us early in the chat here. And thanks to Mr. the one and only Lucas Ward for being in the chat here bright and early in the stream. Appreciate both of you guys coming out and hanging out with us here tonight for the Dirty Jobs Christmas 80. Wherever you are around the world, we appreciate you watching. and for subscribing if you're in the chat. And if you want to join in on the chat action here tonight, you have the opportunity to do so. Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit like while you're down there as well, and hang out with us. Let us know that you're hanging out with us as we are getting ready to go heat racing here at virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. Heat race number 1 is going to line up like this here. It's 12 laps the distance. Everybody is going to make it, but the top 3 drivers in the finishing order will get points. So here we go. It is Nathan Reynolds, the driver that has won both of the features here at Bristol Dirt. He will line up P1. He'll have his teammate to his outside, Ryan Dye, the two-time series champions, first and second in the starting grid here in heat race number 1. TJ Bartle, top 5 finisher last week at Indianapolis. He put together a great run. He will start P3 here in the final points paying position. Starting to his outside, great start for Pascal Simard. He has a good opportunity to get a great starting spot. He will line up in 4th. Chad Stearns, 2-time race winner here this season, will line up P5. Rookie Austin Holyfield will be to his outside. Another rookie will start on the inside of row number 4. That is Luke Peterson. He will have Kyle Zittel, P8. To his outside, Will Salamone was the points leader a couple of races ago, starting to slide a little bit. He needs a good night here tonight. He will be P9. Kyle Duming will round out your top 10 starters, and Cole Maxwell rounds out the field here for heat race number 1. Matt, our track state has been reset. What are the general weather conditions, and then what do you think about these drivers slopping it up on a fresh track here?
Well, looking at our weather conditions, it is quite cool, and it is a little humid, a little damp. On a fresh track, I would guess that we're going to be slopping around quite a bit. It's going to be pretty slick to begin with here. And we only have 12 laps for these heat races, so I'm not sure that it's going to get really any time for the track to kind of pack in, if you will. So it could be a sloppy first heat race here.
All righty, appreciate Adam Cantwell hanging out with us here tonight. He's had an interesting day. We'll just put it that way. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, well, sorry.
If you don't, join the Discord.
Yeah, it's a lot safer now. I'll tell you that much. And with the short track here, we get 2 pace laps. We get a little bit of extra time for fun. As Ryan Dye's kind of been having some connection issues all night long. He's blinking under the pace laps here. We'll see once the green flag drops if he's going to continue to have those problems. One problem he hopes to not continue from Indianapolis last week is finishing the race. He got caught up in the first caution. He did come out and make some laps towards the end of the race, but it only got him 1 spot. He finished, I think, 28th. So looking for a much better night here tonight is Ryan Dye. Nathan Reynolds as well. He was also caught up in an accident. It would be a great start to the night for either of these gentlemen if they can come away with heat race number 1, and it is green. Bartle slips back a little bit from the top 2 and is going to be battling with Pascal Simard side by side for 3rd as Dye and Reynolds scoot away. And remember, no cautions. Really no cautions in these heat races, whether they're big or not.
We see Simard working that top line. You gain a lot of momentum on the top here around Bristol Dirt because these banks are so high. When you come off the top of that bank, it just launches you down into the straightaway. But definitely the shorter way around the track is going to put you out in front on those straights. So you just got to figure out what's working best for you at the time and kind of how the track's looking also.
Stearns has overtaken Luke Peterson, or at least fended him off, is now trying to work his way up to this battle for 3rd between Simard and Bartle. Stearns now looking to the inside of Simard as lap number 4 goes up onto the board.
Whoa, and Stearns and Simard almost made a little contact there.
We saw a little bit further back in the pack a lap and a half ago that Will Salamone got up into the wall. I will say, getting into the wall is never ideal at any track, but if you're going to do it anywhere, I think the dirt track here at speeds under 110 miles an hour, really under 100 miles an hour, that is the place to do it. And sometimes it can be used to your advantage so long as you don't do it often.
Whoa, we got one around. That's Peterson in the 89.
Oh, man, he was up there just outside of the top 5 as well. He goes around. He will have to either try and get it looped back around and not get in the way of the leader, as Reynolds is coming down the straightaway right now. And Peterson stays to the bottom of the track here, so that's unfortunate. Peterson was running in P6. But we'll soldier on here as Ryan Dye, about a half a second behind race leader Nathan Reynolds, as they're past halfway, coming to put lap number 8 up on the board this time.
And we spread out a little bit here. Peterson is up into the wall again, but I think he's probably got a little damage on that truck, so could be a product of that.
Oh! Kyle Dumig hits the inside wall, battling with Austin Holyfield for the 8th position. Keeps it pointed in the right direction at least, and well, of course we stay green, but he stays moving. I don't really know where I was going with any of that. He hit the wall. There you go. Nathan Reynolds, boy, he has really pulled out over Ryan Dye by an extra 0.3 the last 2 laps. Nathan Reynolds is in form already, as lap number 10 is going to go up on the board this time.
And the battle has resumed here between Bartle and Simard. Stearns also lurking in the back of this.
Simard finished just outside of the top 10 last week at Indianapolis, P11. That's his best finish on the season. His best overall career Venom Truck Series finish came here at regular Bristol, not Dirt Bristol. I don't believe he has raced at a dirt track yet in his Venom Truck Series career, but you could have fooled me. He's holding the steady wheel up here, as Nathan Reynolds will come around, I believe, to take the white flag this time.
And apologies to the viewers, the overlay, I know it shows 9 laps to go. It's a little messed up. We're going to try to see if we can fix that after this session.
Oh, Dumig just went around in front of Nathan Reynolds. Keeps it down to the bottom of the track, though. Everybody's going to get around as Nathan Reynolds out of turn number 4. He's going to win heat race number 1.
Simard tried to send it in on Bartle at the end. I thought Stearns was going to get him, but he doesn't.
So Bartle hangs on for a point. And Zittel over the radio apologizes to Luke Peterson. Apparently there was some contact there. I didn't see the beginning of the incident. But Luke Peterson finishes ahead of Kyle Dumig, actually. So Luke Peterson will start, I believe, 30th in tonight's feature, or maybe 29th. Either way, not ideal. Some work to do for Luke Peterson. All right. Here is the grid now for heat race number 2. And they will line up like this. Brandon Vyers is back here tonight, and I think he's in the session right now. He has popped in and out several times, so hopefully he's here. This will be his first Venom Truck Series race this season. His first Venom Truck Series race since regular Bristol last season. Andy Poliski is struggled a little bit last week, but came away with a good result. He will start P2 here tonight in heat race number 2. Jan Van Leer starts in the final points position on the inside of row number 2. He will have Paul Ellison, who is second in the points coming into tonight. He has had a great season. He starts in spot number 4. Michael Dean and Corey Rutherford on row number 3. Jeremy McKinnon starting a little bit deep in the field here tonight in 7th. Kevin Sargent, who is in the YouTube chat as well, he starts P8. Steve Roman deep in the field, 9th. Sean Russell making his Venom Truck Series debut here tonight. He will start in P10. And Daniel Morey, another rookie driver, rounds out the field here for heat race number 2 in spot number 11. Eric Breeding in the chat as well, saying it's going to be slick tonight. Yeah, I think you're right. Hard to disagree with that one.
All right, and it looks like we might have a working ticker for this heat race. Hopefully this thing's going to stay with me throughout this one.
Hallelujah. They don't seem to like these heat race formats, do they?
No, we had this problem. You're correct. We had this problem with the duels in Daytona as well.
So Brandon Vyers is back tonight. He was in the Daytona Charity Shootout Open Qualifier. That's the first time we got to see him in Turn 200 competition. Now he leads the field to green in heat race number 2. Great start for him. Jan Van Leer and Andy Poliski now battling side by side for second.
And Tommy, do you know if we reset the track state for this also, or are we carrying over from our last heat race? Do you know?
I believe we're resetting for every heat race, and it'll probably reset before the feature as well. If I had to guess anyway, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. When we start getting towards the end of the feature, that's when we're gonna see some of the competition. We'll see who knows their way around a changing dirt track. We'll just put it that way.
And actually, you can see a little bitty slick line starting to develop about 3/4 of the way up the backstretch on corner entry into turn number 3. So maybe it did not reset. It's just a little sliver. It'll definitely, by the end of heat race number 3, which is, of course, the time that we're going to not need that information, you'll really be able to tell if they're resetting it or not.
And there in the back of the pack, Rutherford found himself stuck up on the wall, and I do see what you're talking about. Whoa, and there's some big contact there. That was Rutherford, Sean Russell in the 8 as well.
Yeah, big problems there for Corey Rutherford. He's got the meatball flag. I think his heat race is over. You will have to start deep in the feature field here tonight. As Brandon Vyers is coming around to put lap number 6 up on the board. That is a great-looking truck.
Yeah, there's something about the Pennzoil colors that just looks amazing on a truck or a race car.
Yes. Yeah, we've got Rebecca Morey in the chat. And Daniel's up 2 spots in P9.
Whoa, and there's big contact farther back. That's McKinnon and Paul Ellison, I think.
Wow. And Vroman now scrapping in the middle of both of them. So Vroman overtakes Ellison, now is behind McKinnon, who himself is pulling up to Michael Dean, who was the runner-up finisher in the Season 3 feature here.
And a lot of the
to go up front. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of the drivers are electing to take this top line, but and I know it carries a lot of momentum. It just doesn't seem like it's quite working the way that they would like it to. Also, the track may not be slicked off enough to really have a distinct advantage in one line or the other right now. It might just not be racy enough the way that it sits.
I think the only place that the cushion is really the line to run is Eldora when talking about Bristol Dirt versus Eldora and Knoxville.
And Ellison's going to put it on the inside of Roman.
We're coming to 2 to go up front. Brandon Vyers not under threat from Andy Poliski. Jan Van Leer is in the final points paying position in P3. He's well ahead of Michael Dean now, who's in 4th. McKinnon, Vroman in 6th. Ellison P7 with Kevin Sargent right behind him. Daniel Murray has closed in on them as well. Coming to the white flag. In the Season 3 race here, Brandon Vyers led the most laps, but finished in 14th after some problems late in the going. Looking for some redemption here tonight, and he's off to a great start. Brandon Vyers is going to win heat race number 2. Poliski and Jan Van Leer take the final points in heat race number 2. Michael Dean, Steve Roman takes over Paul Ellison. Kevin Sargent finishes in 7th, and Daniel Murray, P8. All right, 3rd and final heat race on the night here for the Dirty Jobs Christmas 80 heat racing action here tonight. Your 3rd quickest qualifier earlier was Greg Roberts. How about it for Greg? We have been missing him the last couple of weeks. He's back in action here tonight. He will have the hard luck driver of the season so far, Michael Krall, to his outside. Eric Breeding, who won a heat race in Season 3 here, will start in P3. A debuter here tonight, Adrian Brown, will round out your front two rows here. Brantley Gainey and Garrett Rainey, my nightmare, on row number 3. Ethan Patterson on the inside of row number 4 with another debuter here tonight. Dean Greer will start in 8th. Ryan Borboom is back tonight. He starts P9, and rounding out the field is Kevin Cochran, who is on a good roll of late. He will round out the field here for the third and final heat race. Again, 12 laps the distance. Everybody transfers, but the top 3 drivers will be getting some bonus points. And after this, well, we were talking about it off there, but there's the warm-up. So we'll have a 5-minute warm-up here to us, a little bit of time to kill before our 80-lap feature here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if the track's going to reset for the warm-up and then carry over, this is a track that it probably would be nice to get a little bit of a warm-up just to get a feel for the state of the track, before you start that feature.
And to work it in a little bit as well, get it race ready. But we've had Greg Roberts in the chat the last couple of races. Hasn't been able to make him. Finished 13th at IRP. That's the last time we've seen him in action. So it's good to see him back tonight. He had a rather forgettable Bristol Dirt experience in Season 3 in his one trip here with the Venom trucks. And looking to do a lot better here tonight. He's off to a great start. In fact, the bottom 2 drivers on the finishing leaderboard in Season 3 were Greg Roberts and Michael Krall. They finished 20th and 21st DNFs. Off to a much better start here tonight. And Krall off to a great start. He powers ahead to the lead as the green flag flies. And I think for his efforts, he's going to pick up a black flag. Nope, it's been cleared. But Krall already gave up the position. Now he's getting worked to his inside.
And that's Adrian Brown.
Yes.
Adrian Brown working on the inside, gets through on Krall and is now going to set his sights on Roberts. I think Krall, and Krall and Brown make a little bit of contact there. Rainey's going to get checked up a little bit as well, trying to not make contact with the 11.
Breeding his spots. He's trying to mount an offensive here as well as Garrett Rainey.
Wow, this battle is getting heated too.
Ooh.
That's Rainey with Eric Breeding underneath of him and Krall on the top. Whoa, some contact on the wall from Krall and Rainey. Breeding's going to end up getting through on the 16.
Smoke in the wall, quite literally. And all this has allowed Greg Roberts and Adrian Brown to check out.
Oh, and Brantley Gainey Jr. is now getting through on Rainey as well. He's on the bottom of him.
What a gaggle here. A 5-car battle for third for the final point. The final bonus point of the night. Man, Rainey cannot get off the wall. He was our winner last night at iRacing Super Speedway in the first Truck 200 recruitment race. He said he was not looking forward to tonight. But, man, that just looks like a lot of fun. As Patterson trying to go around on the outside of Brantley Gainey. He's got Garrett Rainey in front of him. The old Gainey-Rainey sandwich for Patterson. Oh, contact!
Wow, the back half of the field here has been putting on a show for us. That's not even really the back half, just the middle, I suppose.
Yeah, just the middle. 1.2 seconds right now for Greg Roberts over Adrian Brown. Michael Krall, a few truck length advantage over Eric Breeding, who did not have a great start, but has got his wits about him now and is on the charge, looking for that final points-paying position here tonight. Garrett Rainey rounds out the top 5. Ethan Patterson has now been passed by Brantley Gainey for 6. Kevin Cochran is in 8th. Dean Gear, in 9th. And Ryan Borboom is having some problems. He's on pit road. And yeah, I'd say the track state did not reset from heat race to heat race. It's looking pretty worked in right now. Pretty ideal for trying to rail some quick laps on the top like Greg Roberts is doing.
Yeah, and I'd be excited if they don't change it for the feature. If they keep this the same for warm-up and then take it all the way to the feature, this track's going to get really, really interesting by the end of our feature here tonight.
And that's an interesting strategy play if they didn't do that. Since we don't have any pit strategy, if you go out in the warm-up and work the track in more, if you're somebody that knows how to run a slick track, you're only going to give yourself more of an advantage as the night rolls along.
I tell you what, if it was you or me out there, we'd be trying to put in as many laps as possible.
Oh, yeah. And we'd probably
As
have people
Breeding was going to try to look to the outside of Crawl, he's going to get way up into the wall.
Hasn't lost any time, though. He's right back on the attack, peeking to the outside. It's the final lap.
And this is for an extra bonus point.
Greg Roberts uncontested through 3 and 4. He is going to win heat race number 3. Adrian Brown is going to finish in second. It's Crawl on the outside for third. Eric Breeding looking to the inside. Crawl is going to hang on. Breeding in fourth, Rainey in fifth, Gainey in sixth. Oh no, Gainey ahead of Rainey. Gainey ahead of Rainey. Kevin Cochran, Ethan Patterson slides all the way down to 8th. Dean Gear in 9th. And Ryan Borboom in 10th. Well, partner, we've got 5 minutes. We didn't prepare anything for our warm-up because we didn't realize there was going to be one here tonight. Do you have anything you want to talk about here for the next few minutes? This is a good time to get the chat rolling because we're going to be watching it.
Yeah, if there's anybody out there who hasn't said anything and is also not on the track at the moment, go ahead and say hi. We love to hear from you. Just want to maybe tell people what we're going to have going on coming up maybe. We have our own league, Truck 200, that will be starting on Monday nights. That's starting in January, and we will also be having recruitment races for the first 2 Monday nights of January, so come out for the recruitment races as well.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I don't know if we can confirm anything from the RAL for the spring.
Well, they did do some publishing today. See that?
Oh, I did not see that.
So we don't have any fancy graphics or logos or anything, and we did not talk about this beforehand. But I'll go ahead and throw it out since I believe the league information is out there. If you're on the RAL Discord. The RAL Crap Wagon Series will be starting in the spring. It'll be 6 rounds in the IRO 5, and that'll be paired along with some Formula Thunderdome Revolution races, which is for anybody that's new to the channel. That is Pro 2 lights on actual road courses with the track limits and complete memery and tomfoolery, including heat races. It is unrivaled fun. It is the best that iRacing has to offer. We'll just put it that way. So, Crap Wagons and Thunderdome on Wednesday nights. This late winter, early spring. It is a combination you do not want to miss, and it'll all be right here on Turn 200.
Well, you said people that are new to the channel, but the Thunderdome Revolution was not on the on this channel at all. That was over on our old channel on Twitch. So anybody that was not watching us when we were broadcasting on Twitch, you have not seen the Formula Thunderdome Revolution, and we have some epic clips from the first season, and I'm sure it's going to be much of the same coming out of season 2.
Yes, I think you are correct. So, yep, RL Crap Wagons and Formula Thunderdome Revolution on Wednesdays, late winter, early spring, as well as Truck 200 on Mondays, Venom Truck Series on Tuesdays for Season 5, and potentially Season 6. There are talks.
Are there little whisperings and rumblings going on?
Yes.
Is this one of those things where everybody in the NASCAR garage knows it already, but they just haven't officially put it out there?
That is exactly what that is. So keep your ears to the ground for that. We are also going to have some more things to be announced soon. Just a little bitty fun series.
Oh.
And also, if you missed our announcement at the end of last week, there is a 2023 Turn 200 Channel Championship that is already underway. So we've
Really, who's the leader of that championship right now, Tommy?
The leader of that championship, as of right now, is Ryan Vargas. I believe he will be overtaken tonight no matter what. But Ryan Vargas is that points leader right now.
And, of course, we just wanted to say that because we have a Xfinity Series driver leading our championship at the moment.
So there will be more details of that as the year rolls along. But we're trying some things. We've got some things in the work. In the works, actually. More than one work. Yeah, so,
we have a lot planned that we're hoping to put out. We also have a little birdie out there that you might be seeing some of our content on a pretty official iRacing channel, maybe coming soon. We'll have to see.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, we may have some eyes on us for probably all the wrong reasons. It's probably going to happen. So we'll be sure to let everybody know about that. That's going to be really cool if that materializes. Love being vague. We were just vague for 5 minutes, and it's there's no better feeling.
Here's the thing. I think we could get ourselves in trouble if we're not vague.
Yeah, no, you're right. Appreciate Kevin Sargent chatting with us. He says, I think my one fan might be watching. So if you're a fan of Kevin Sargent here tonight, appreciate you coming out here tonight. As it is now time. And, man, I don't have an easy way to grid everybody. This is... Okay, here we go. I found it. All right, here's the starting lineup now for the Dirty Jobs Christmas 80 for the Venom Truck Series, round number 6 on the season. It is Nathan Reynolds, career pole number 13, his second pole in a row. Looking for his first win on the season. Brandon Byers is back here tonight. He will start in P2. Greg Roberts, those are your 3 heat race winners. They start 1, 2, 3. They'll have Ryan Dye on the outside of row number 2. Andy Poliski and newcomer Adrian Brown on row number 3. Then it is TJ Bartle on the inside of row number 4 with Jan Van Leer to his outside. Michael Krall will start in P9. Pascal Samard starts in 10th. Michael Dean, Eric Breeding on row number 6. Then it is Chad Stearns and Steve Roman, a power duo there on row number 7. Brantley Gainey, Kyle Zittel on row number 8. Then it's Paul Ellison, Garrett Rainey on row number 9. And Will Salamone, Kevin Sargent on row 10. Kevin Cochran, Austin Holyfield, 21st, 22nd. Daniel Mooring, Ethan Patterson behind them. Cole Maxwell, Sean Russell, Dean Gear, 2 newcomers there. Luke Peterson starts in 28th. Jeremy McKinnon way back in 29th. A lot of work for him tonight. Ryan Borboom, Kyle Dumig, Corey Rutherford. 32 trucks, I believe. They are all here. 32 trucks around Bristol Dirt. It is going to get wild in a hurry. And what is the key thing to remember here as these trucks start beating and banging, Matt?
Well, one thing that we've been mentioning all night is the track state, and it looks like it did reset for the warm-up period. So we're going to have to pack this track in a little bit, but I can tell you what, once it starts getting pretty slicked off, you're going to start seeing people migrate towards the bottom. And by the end of it, it's going to be pretty racy. The beginning of this thing might be not as chaotic as we would have hoped, although there are 30 trucks on the track right now, and that's an insane number for Bristol Dirt. But by the end of this thing, we're going to see a lot of passing, I think.
The one thing I wanted you to say that you didn't was very stringent on cautions. We are green. Cautions are not going to be thrown unless we have a multi-truck pile up here, and it's not out of the question.
Yeah, we've been told that they really don't want to throw cautions unless they really have to. But what they were talking about is certainly possible with 30 trucks out here.
They're 3 wide further back in the pack. Wow, Paul Ellison just Garrett Rainey into the... Some pretty significant contact there for Garrett Rainey, and he is going to slide back through the field. Up front, Nathan Reynolds right now leading Brandon Vyers, who is back here tonight. Vyers was on the attack there, but has fallen off by about a truck length now. Greg Roberts hanging on to P3 with a challenge from Ryan Dye for the position. Stearns and Gainey just made some net code contact, but they keep it pointed in the right direction.
A big battle brewing here between Michael Krall and Eric Breeding. Right behind them, Vroman's way up into the wall. Ellison in the 55 is also going to touch it. In some of the leagues we've been in, doing a wall ride like that will get you kicked out.
Yeah. The top 5 have it all pretty well buttoned up. They look like carbon copies of one another. All ran the track here. It's Reynolds, Vyers, Roberts, Dye, and Poliski. Adrian Brown, the newcomer, is trying the high side. He's in 6th. Jan Van Leer is looking pretty sporty here tonight. He's rocking the Ghost Energy livery in 7th. Pascal Samard in 8th. Eric Breeding in 9th. Michael Krall in 10th. And further back, it's still a hornet's nest as these trucks try to get settled into a groove here. Paul Ellison in 11th. TJ Bartle, Steve Vroman, Michael Dean all battling for that 12th position. Bartle had it. He's lost it to Vroman. Dean now on the outside of Bartle trying to take over the 11th position, or the 13th position, rather.
Yeah, positions are changing quickly here in the middle of the pack. We got some hungry dogs trying to get through on here.
Up front, Vyers had a peek at Reynolds. He was up to the quarter panel and had to roll out of it a little bit. Poliski has now jumped to the high side. He's trying to find any way to get around Ryan Dye that he can. But Vyers is inching his way up to the tailgate.
We see a lot of our leaders right now running pretty much the middle of the track right now. We're going to look for that to kind of change a little bit throughout our session here. Also, for performance standards, I'm not sure my graphics are able to actually see the track changes as clearly as you might on some other sims. So the track might not actually be as it looks right now.
I'll go and take a look at the stream here as lap traffic is going to start to play a factor. And it looks about the same, honestly. And I've got my settings turned all the way up since I don't have to stream. Maybe that's why my CPU is bogging down so much.
Must be nice.
On max quality, yeah. On my $400 PC. Ryan Borboom is the first to fall victim to Nathan Reynolds. It's Borboom back in 32nd. All 32 trucks are still out on the track here as we work lap number 12, coming to lap number 13 next time around, and Brandon Vyers is dogging Nathan Reynolds for the race lead.
Yeah, Vyers has had a couple of peaks on both the outside and the inside of Reynolds. Just trying to be patient right now, I think. You're not going to be able to win this thing right now, and with no cautions being thrown for single or just a couple of truck incidents, you don't want to take yourself out of this thing before you even really have a chance to win it.
And that answers my question there. I wasn't sure if Vyers jumped to the top side or just lost the nose on the truck and drifted up, but he goes to the top side through 3 and 4 as well. So the line for the leaders starting to migrate up to the top, especially as lap traffic comes into play as Reynolds lost the back end of the truck there. Vyers got oh so close to starting to make that pass. But now they move back down. All the lap traffic is on the top side for the time being, as Cole Maxwell and Kyle Dumig stay up out of the way. Dumig has a little brush with the wall there out of turn number 2.
Yeah, and it's going to start getting interesting with lap traffic. I mean, there's not a ton of room around this track, especially with dirt on it. As Roberts got into it with, I'm not sure who that was.
I'm not sure either. I'm back further in the pack. Brantley Gainey has hit the wall about 3 times in the last 2 laps. It's making an awful lot of noise. It's so loud on my sim for some reason whenever somebody hits the wall.
And there's a lot of room between between Poliski and Jan Van Leer. There's about a 3-second gap, but there are a ton of lap trucks in between them.
So Reynolds has pulled out about a half a second ahead of Brandon Vyers now as they work. But Vyers is back to the top side, trying to use that momentum that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think the middle's gone away just...
Yeah, I agree. It's darkening up quite a bit there in the middle. That's where the meta line was, if you will. And now it's a question of, man, as Vyers is absolutely railing it off the wall there in 1 and 2. He is going to lose quite a bit of time this time. Now it's a question of whether you want to work the bottom or work the top, and how the cushion is going to develop close to the wall with all the trucks running up there. That's the thing, is that Eldora, when that cushion goes and when the top side slicks off, you could still rail the cushion without much problem.
Oh, we got one around in front of our leaders here, and they're going to bring a caution out.
So the caution does fly here on lap number 20. So decent opening stretch here, but also we were not expecting any cautions, really. I believe Eric Breeding and Jan Van Leer were involved in this one.
I saw Eric Breeding. It looked like maybe TJ Bartle had a problem as well.
Well, I could tell you it was jockeying further back in the pack. Bartle goes around. People are actually, Breeding went around a first time, unassisted. It caused a stack up behind Bartle. And then Breeding got turned again by people trying to avoid the accident. So there were like 2 little mini accidents that combined to cause our first caution here.
This is Bartle in the 59. And you can see he just comes up on Breeding, who is trying to get his truck turned back around. And he's going to end up spinning, and Breeding is going to get shoved out into the kind of the middle of the track here and make contact with 2 or 3 more trucks.
Unfortunately for TJ Bartle, I don't think he had a meatball flag, but he elects to disconnect from the server nevertheless, so he will be credited with a 32nd place finish here tonight.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to really see much of a replay because Eric Breeding was basically non-existent in the sim for a little bit before he crashed, or at least on mine. He's blinked out all the way up until he is just sitting there on the bottom of the track.
So I believe we're going with single file restarts here. I believe that has just been handed down from race control. Caution laps do count. You have to have manual cautions off for the caution laps don't count feature to work. Of course, these are admin thrown cautions since they didn't really want to throw cautions in the first place. So all these caution laps have counted. It's lap number 24. Single file restarts. Chad Stearns picked up a cutting the course penalty somehow. It's been cleared by race control, which is nice because how do you cut a half-mile oval with no access to the middle of the track? It doesn't make any sense. But they cleared it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Nathan Reynolds has led them all thus far. He still has Brandon Vyers behind him in second, Greg Roberts in third. Ryan Dye, Andy Poliski still round out the top 5. They've been pretty much unchanged. In fact, that is exactly where each of them started this race. Pascal Simard is up 4 spots from 10th to 6th. Paul Ellison is up 10 spots to 7th. Michael Krall is up 1 spot to 8th. Up 6 spots to 9th is Brantley Gainey. Steve Roman is up 4 spots to 10th. So that is your top 10, how they run right now. Garrett Rainey in 11th. Jeremy McKinnon has a big move as well. He's up from 29th to 12th as the green flag flies. on lap number 25.
And looked like Vyers is going to try to make a move on Reynolds. Whoa, he makes contact!
Big problems there. He's around. He's going to lock it down on the bottom of the track. He is going to lose the second position and pretty much every position. And he jumps to the pits. So I think that is going to be the end of his night. Wow. What? Wow. That is such a sudden turn of events there. Greg Roberts, Brandon Vyers make contact. And that is the end of the race for Vyers. Poliski has gotten past Ryan Dye now. He's up to P3. More problems there down the back straightaway. I believe Cole Maxwell was involved in that one. Go back and see what happened.
What we
I think
saw
Adrian
there
Brown made contact with him.
with Vyers, I think, I mean, I think it was Greg Roberts and Vyers who got together.
Yes.
And,
yes, it was.
Roberts was just had a nose on his outside, and Vyers was trying to come up the track to arc into the corner and just made contact.
Dean Gear is disconnected from the server as well, so that's not the debut effort that he was looking for here tonight. As they're starting to file out one by one. Nathan Reynolds still leading. Now Greg Roberts in second. Andy Poliski has gotten past Ryan Dye for the third position. Dye is back to fourth. Pascal Simard now is into the top 5, but he has Paul Ellison hot on his heels. In sixth, Michael
Kroll and
Kralls.
Gainey Jr. just made contact, and
Yes.
Roman got through on Gainey Jr.
Gainey is going to lose at least one spot to Vroman. I believe Zittel and Salamone just made contact. Wow, McKinnon just threw a dive bomb on Brantley Gainey. It didn't work. There is so much action happening all over this joint.
I'll tell you what else that single file restart did. The trucks that were in the back, they were almost a half a lap behind the leader when this thing started. That is a long ways to try to make up any sort of ground on the field.
Yeah, they're running 20.5-second laps about for the leader, 20.7 for Nathan Reynolds. Right now in 23rd, Ethan Patterson is 16.5 seconds behind, which means that he's about 3.5 seconds ahead.
And Gainey's going to pull a slide job on Vroman. Vroman hits his rear.
Slide job! Slide job! Oh, they're not done! More contact! Gainey hangs on.
McKinnon
Rainey with
Rainey's
problems.
gonna get
Big
turned.
problem. Rainey shut the door on Michael Dean, but Dean had his foot jammed into the doorway, and Rainey goes around. He is going to lose a lap as Nathan Reynolds scoots on by. These guys are battling this hard. The leader is not far behind them.
Boy, I tell you what, I love some dirt racing.
Maxwell makes contact with the race leader. Reynolds was trying to sneak high. Maxwell, I don't think, knew he was up there. Reynolds is going to try and sneak underneath now as Luke Peterson is into the wall in front of both of them.
My
Good
goodness.
There's still 45 laps to go, race fans. I don't think we can take 45 more laps of this, as somebody just went around in the back straightaway. I think it was Austin Holyfield.
And Roberts is going to thread the needle between 4 lap trucks as one of them is stopped on the bottom. Oh, Roberts almost went around. He makes a save.
This is unbelievable. What is happening? There are trucks all over the damn place.
And Poliski's gained a ton of ground on Roberts because of the lap traffic.
I can imagine. Let's tell you who is out. I believe Adrian Brown, Brandon Vyers, Dean Gear, and TJ Bartle are out of this one. And they go from 28th down to 32nd. We've got 17 trucks right now on the lead lap, but that is fixing to change here momentarily. Corey Rutherford will be the next one to go down out of the trucks that are pointed in the right direction, at least.
There is too much action, and now there's going to be too many lap trucks to even tell what's for position and what's not. Whoa, Kroll is going to make huge contact with Ellison.
Oh, Kroll tries to keep it off of pit road, and I think he does, but he is going to lose quite a few spots. He was running inside of the top 10, and now he's going to be running outside of it. Good Lord.
And all of a sudden, we were talking about McKinnon, who had a ton of ground to make up. He finds himself in 8th place.
Wow, he started 29th. 29th to 8th run right now. That would make him the hard charger. And Jan Van Leer says, welcome to the Demolition Derby over the radio. And it's, it's hard to disagree with him as Salamone and Dean make contact. Maury gets a nose full of Dean as well. I don't know who you're watching, but I'm just going to call out what I see when I see it.
I've been watching the middle of the pack because it seems like that's where the most action's been. Ellison, Gainey Jr., McKinnon, Vrooman's here as well, all on the lead lap still.
It's enough to make your head spin. Garrett Rainey has a meatball flag. He's on pit road, so that's going to put him multiple laps down, even if he can get back out onto the track. He's going to be hurting.
Ellison and Gainey Jr. have been absolutely going at it this race. They're together again, making contact down the front stretch. And now McKinnon's going to stick his nose in there.
Salamone and Zittel just made contact for, I think, the 3rd time this race. That's a good boss-employee relationship there.
And McKinnon stuffs in on Gainey Jr. Gainey Jr. is going to get shuffled back to the 3rd spot of this battle. And McKinnon's going to go through on Ellison now. McKinnon is up 25 spots, but Ellison's going to fight back on the bottom. He does the crossover.
Greg Roberts made up. Oh, problems right in front of the leader, Nathan Reynolds. Roberts gets through it. Reynolds, I think, is going to be okay, but he's lost all the time that he had built up over Greg Roberts. Roberts to the inside for the race lead. Roberts elects not to slide. Reynolds has the momentum on the top side. He hangs on to P1. Oh, man, I was just about to say Greg Roberts had made up 7/10 of a second on the race leader, and then he made it all up. Was that Kyle Zittel hanging over the pit wall?
Kyle Zittel's parked it on top of the pit wall.
Oh, my God. This is absolute insanity.
This is Venom Truck Series racing, my friend.
Oh, boy, I think there are going to be a lot of drivers who are going to want to forget this night ever happened. Did Reynolds just blow up? Reynolds blew up! Reynolds just blew up! That's the race leader! Oh, my God!
He must have been downshifting and he burnt the motor up.
Either that or the contact. I mean, he made some pretty significant contact with those guys, but he didn't have a meatball flag. Oh my gosh, Nathan Reynolds again up front, and his race is over. It's Greg Roberts out front. Greg Roberts, Andy Poliski, Ryan Dye, Pascal Simard, and Paul Ellison, your top 5 now with 33 laps to go. Make it 32 at the line. Oh, Roberts coming to Daniel Maury. Fighting tooth and nail to try and get around the lap car.
And your leader has lapped, I believe, up to 12th place.
Yeah.
Or 13th place.
Somebody else was just stopped on the bottom of the track as well. Greg has asked over the radio for the lap trucks to remove themselves out of the preferred line. He gets around Maxwell. He's been trying to get around Daniel Mooring for the 2 or 3 laps. I think that's where most of his frustrations lie right now, as Maury is going to go a 3rd lap down now in 18th.
And I'll tell you what, Poliski is right behind Maury. He's going to go through him on the bottom here, I think. And he is not far from your race leader, Greg Roberts.
I feel bad for Maury because he's got the pace to keep up with the leaders. He's just 3 laps down.
Yeah, certainly some sort of incident must have happened.
Roberts brushes the wall pretty hard there, and he's got just under a second advantage over Andy Poliski. But Nathan Reynolds with the meatball flag blows the engine from the lead as, man, somebody just railed the wall. I think it was Luke Peterson. This will be an opportunity for somebody new to win at Bristol Dirt. Nathan Reynolds had won both of the previous circus races here. And Major E-Fall in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the show. I normally would say I bet you wish you were here, but maybe not tonight. This is a much better race to watch than it is to drive, I think, at least for most of the drivers in here. I know you and I would be lapping it up out there.
We're going on board with Brantley Gainey Jr., and you can see how much he's having to really work the wheel here. Let's listen into the truck work, too. Whoa, and he just blinked on us. Listen to how they have to feather the throttle. And McKinnon up in front of him is getting up into the wall on almost every turn.
Greg Roberts just had to work around, I think, Michael Dean. No, it wasn't Michael Dean. It was somebody else, but they were way out of shape as Roberts just slammed the wall there. Before tonight, Greg Roberts' best career Venom Truck Series finish was a 5th at Martinsville last season. And he's certainly looking pretty good to do at least match that tonight, if not do a little bit better.
Yeah, and that was Kevin Cochran in the 48 that Roberts and Poliski just got through. Cochran is in 12th place. So Cochran is not by any means having a bad race. They've just lapped that many trucks. Oh, and Roberts is having a little trouble getting around a lap car now.
Yeah, Borboom's staying right in front of the race leader. Roberts having to go from the wall, slings it inside. Poliski has closed a second, and now even more in the last 3 laps. Almost a second and a half. The gap is closed between Roberts and Poliski. Poliski is piping in some great laps here. 21 laps to go when they come back around to the stripe.
And
but if you're losing track of where you are on the track, the stripe is right there.
Poliski is looking to make a lot shorter work of Borboom than your leader Roberts did, and he does.
Hits the wall for good measure. Jeremy McKinnon has gotten up to 4th, and nope, there goes Poliski up into the wall again. You can get away with that for a little while, especially if you're trying to dig hard. It'll catch up to you, especially if you pop it one too many times too hard.
Oh, and Vroman had an incident. Vroman's on the inside, down on the wall, and I think he's blown up. He is. He jumps to the pits.
That is not...
And another one goes around. I couldn't tell who it was. My goodness, it's absolute insanity right now.
I think it was Austin Holyfield that is down on the bottom of 1 and 2 right now. Goodness gracious. We are going to have some interesting interviews after this one, I can tell already. As they run with 18 laps to go, Greg Roberts leading Andy Poliski. Ryan Dye is in a distant 3rd. Jeremy McKinnon in 4th. Brantley Gainey Jr. up to P5. Pascal Samard in 6th. Paul Ellison in 7th. Michael Dean in 8th. Will Salamone in 9th. And Jan Van Leer is the last truck on the lead lap right now in P10. And as I say that, he's been overtaken. So the top 9 are on the lead lap. And Will Salamone is the next driver ahead of Greg Roberts. So it's sort of a, as they run right now, it's sort of a give and take sort of night for Will Salamone. He's going to get another top 10 finish. Maybe not as high as he would like, but he has quite a few drivers that are ahead of him in the points that are going to have deep finishes.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly a race you look at. I mean, when the schedule comes out and you go, all right, this one could be either really, really good for me or it could be really, really bad for me. And some of your top 10 of the points have not had the nicest of times here tonight.
I just realized I don't think Jeff Langston is here tonight. So he must have taken his provisional for the season, which they do have a provisional. Unfortunately, he's going to get 33rd place points. Had quite a few people show up here tonight. As Steve Roman is disconnected, yeah, his night is over. You mentioned the engine dropping there. Actually, they just crossed the line for 13 laps to go. Greg Roberts has led every lap since Nathan Reynolds surrendered the lead and his engine surrendered.
And McKinnon and Brantley Gainey Jr. have gained a lot of ground on Ryan Dye for that third place position. Got a little battle brewing here, although there is a lapped truck in it at the moment as McKinnon is going to clear them. And now
two
Gainey
more
Jr.
lap
gets
trucks
around him as
making
well.
contact ahead. Stearns and Borboom. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Yep.
Whoa!
Contact into Jeremy McKinnon. He's around.
Oh, he almost saved it, but he couldn't.
So Borboom washed it down the track into Ryan Dye, who he didn't see because Dye was blinking. So when Dye reappears, they instantly make contact, and the out-of-shape Borboom then further careens into Jeremy McKinnon, who is going to go a lap down. And I think he does not have a meatball. So that's the good news, but the bad news is McKinnon is just barely hanging on to a top 10 right now.
Other good news is for Greg Roberts. He has been putting some time on Poliski, over 4-second gap now from first to second place, although Roberts does have quite a bit of lap traffic in front of him as he's got two trucks battling for position right now.
Borboom
right in
up
front
into
of
the
him.
wall. Roberts goes underneath, and he will look to get around Michael Dean now as well. Dean finished P2 here last time out at Bristol Dirt. It is not quite as good of a result for him here tonight, but he is the last truck on the lead lap right now in P7. And speaking of 7, it's going to be 7 laps to go for Greg Roberts, looking for career victory number 1 in what has been a feast for the eyes tonight.
And now Brantley Gainey Jr. working the top side on Ryan Dye, and he's going to clear him. Brantley Gainey Jr. is now in the podium position, takes over the third spot.
All righty, great run for Brantley Gainey here tonight. He's up 12 spots right now. Has about 10 seconds to overcome if he wants to get up to Andy Poliski.
I tell you what, he has been hustling and battling all night long. He was in the middle of some heated battles in the middle of the pack earlier in this feature.
5 to go. It's Roberts over Poliski right now by almost 5 seconds.
Oh, and he has to go around in front of him.
That was Samard, who was running P5. He's now going to go a lap down.
That'll make you
running
pucker a little bit.
He was running with Paul Ellison. So something must have happened between those two because he was right behind him. But Greg Roberts has lapped almost the whole field here.
Only 4 trucks on the lead lap now. That's insane.
Incredible effort here tonight by Greg Roberts. 3 to go.
Oh, Tommy.
Uh-oh.
We did it. I think we did a curse. We were just talking about Brantley Gainey Jr. having a great race. He's now in 15th place.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he's 3 laps down. I don't know what happened. Unbelievable.
A turn
2 to
200
go.
curse lives on.
Yeah, it's always alive and well with somebody, unfortunately. Sorry. Greg Roberts is just hoping it's not going to be him now with a lap and a half to bring it home. White flag is out. The worst Greg Roberts is going to finish is 4th. 5 seconds advantage right now over Andy Poliski as he works into turn number 3. A best finish of 5th before tonight, but now he's a winner in the Venom Series. It's Greg Roberts to the line to win it. He wins the Dirty Jobs Christmas 80 at Dirt Bristol. And Greg Roberts is a winner with the Venom Truck Series. Greg just came over the radio and asked, does this mean that I can do a burnout? You can do as much burnout as you want, or that you can here on the dirt.
And he's got Poliski, who celebrated there for a moment with him. Poliski finished 2nd.
And Ryan Dye rounds out your podium. And one other truck on the lead lap here tonight. It's Paul Ellison, who I believe is going to be your new points leader. Paul Ellison is putting together maybe the most consistent season I've ever seen up to this point. He's doing an incredible job. But not as an incredible job as Greg Roberts did here tonight. Surviving all the chaos that was thrown his way, and he gets to celebrate as a winner in the Venom Truck Series for the very first time. Let's give you the full finishing rundown here while we wait for some of these drivers to get into the waiting for interview channel. I just realized I'm in the wrong Discord, so that would probably help. But here we go. Greg Roberts, Andy Poliski, Ryan Dye, your podium finishers here tonight. We will hear from them momentarily. Paul Ellison in 4th. First truck a lap down tonight is Michael Dean. He will wind up with his second career P5, or his second career top 5, rather, at Dirt Bristol. Pascal Samard, a 6th place finish is his best on the season thus far. Great run for him. Will Salamone finishes in 7th here tonight. Jan Van Leer, another top 10 for him. He goes in 8th. Jeremy McKinnon, a good recovery of sorts, and he did finish 20 spots up on where he started on the night. He will finish in P9. Kevin Cochran then will finish in 10th. I believe your hard charger tonight will be Corey Rutherford. He goes from 32nd to 11th. Kevin Sargent then will finish in 12th. 2 laps down. 3 laps down is Daniel Morey in 13th and Luke Peterson in 14th. 4 laps down, Chad Stearns in 15th. 5 laps down, Cole Maxwell in 16th. And 2 drivers, 7 laps down, 17th, Brantley Gainey, and 18th, Eric Breeding. And then 8 laps down in 19th, we have Ethan Patterson. 11 laps down in 20th, Ryan Borboom. Debuting Sean Russell tonight will finish 13 laps down in 21st. And then DNFs from here on out, I believe, Steve Roman in 22nd, Austin Holyfield in 23rd, Garrett Rainey in 24th. Nathan Reynolds from the lead. He will finish in P25 here tonight. 26 for Kyle Dumick, 27th for Michael Krall, Kyle Zittel down in 28th. Adrian Brown, another debuter here tonight, will finish in 29th. Brandon Vyers was in 2nd. He finishes P30. Dean Gear in 31st, the final debuter on the night. And TJ Bartle, after a top 5 last week in Indy, he will finish shotgun on the field, 30 seconds, 61 laps. Off of the pace set by Greg Roberts. Let's go ahead and get some podium interviews brewing here as we've got our 3rd place finisher, Ryan Dye, who got to see a lot of the action all around you, but you you managed to stay out of it. I don't know how, but congrats, first of all, on the podium. But walk us through anything and everything that you saw here tonight, because there was a lot.
Oh God, where do we even start? Oh God, that was a wild. I don't know how I finished 3rd. I got hit by about 4 different trucks, and then I hit the barrels at the entrance of pit lane once, like a complete idiot. I don't know. I'm pumped for 3rd. I love this track. It's the first time I've never gotten the pole here on the dirt, and I was terrible today. So to come out of here with a P3 to me is, I mean, I might as well have won the race.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, I wanted to ask you about the track conditions. It's kind of hard to tell, from a perspective that we have on the sim here. How did the track change throughout the race?
So we've never had a dirt race in our league's history with this many drivers. So I was not expecting it to turn as quickly as it did. It got pretty slick pretty early. By the time we had that one caution that we threw, it was already pretty well eaten up. And then I thought towards the end, I thought the bottom was coming back in, and I tried to go down there a couple times, and every time I did, I would, it's just way too slick. I would still almost spin out and have to get out of the throttle and let whoever was behind me catch back up. So the track was changing, but it wasn't changing enough, which surprises me given how many people were running. And with all of our lap trucks, most of them were staying at the bottom. So I kind of thought that bottom would open back up, but it just never really got there.
Well, you did a good job on the track and off the track tonight as being the race control. I know you had your hands full there for quite a bit of the race there as well. So appreciate the double effort here tonight. Who do you want to thank while you got some TV time?
As always, thank you guys for broadcasting us. We love this. Thank the guys in the league. Thankful to my teammates, my wife, my kids. My one kid is 6, so thankful to my wife for watching him while we do this. And just a quick shout out to Flinky, Greg Roberts. This is his first ever league win, and I'm super proud of him.
We're excited to get to talk to him here in just a little bit. He's always in the chat whenever he's not driving. So we're excited for him to get P1, but also excited for you to get your second podium of the season. And hope this kicks off a good stretch for you here as we rumble on this season.
Thank you, guys.
That is Ryan Dye, your P3 finisher. Let's go ahead and bring up Andy Poliski, who finishes in the second position here tonight. Silver medal for you, and I'll kind of float you the same question that I floated Ryan Dye, because you saw all of the action here tonight, whether you were actually involved in it or not. You had a pretty good look at all of it. So first of all, congratulations, and congrats on surviving to come away with a P2 here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it, Keith. Surviving. That was a handful at times. Lap traffic was interesting. Trying to make it through some of the trucks was a lot of fun, and kind of nail biting at times too.
Now, what was more difficult as the race rolled along, the track or getting around lap traffic?
I would say lap traffic. The track, I mean, everybody's got to deal with it. There was a couple of different ways you could run it, but trying to position yourself to not get to take advantage, try to take advantage of lap traffic when it was advantageous, and then not get collected in anything else.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, we just talked to Ryan, and he talked about how, in years past, you haven't had this many trucks on the track here at Bristol Dirt. Did you run those other races, first of all? And if you did, how different was it with, 32 trucks on this track is a lot of trucks. How different is it than what you would normally expect?
Oh, absolutely. I've run all the other dirt races we've done, and this was a lot different having that many trucks. The track went away really, really quick compared to years past or seasons past. So you had to really, really be good on the slick, and then be able to pretty well outmaneuver anybody else to, like I said, to keep yourself out of harm's way. And sometimes, no matter what you tried to do, you couldn't even do that. So, it's kind of one of those races you try to race the track and you try to race yourself. And just hope for the best finish.
Well, you kind of had a quiet night last week at Indianapolis and came away with a 6th place finish. You had, I think, as quiet of a 2nd place finish as you can have, and that's definitely not a bad thing on a night like tonight, where trucks are ended up parked on top of the pit wall and going through the water barrels at the end of pit road. So a great effort to come away with the truck in one piece and on the lead lap and in the 2nd position. Who do you want to thank here tonight with the silver medal?
As always, I'm going to thank you guys for the broadcast. You guys do a great job week in, week out. Thank my sponsors, Nissan Wichita Falls, Thank my family, my wife, my daughter, putting up with me when I do this. They have a great time with it sometimes as well. So, and then everybody in the league. Like I said, it's a great place to run week in and week out. Have a lot of fun, a lot of great competitions. So, it's makes it all worthwhile.
All righty. Another podium. You're third on the season, and I know we'll be talking to you again down the stretch here. So thanks for the time as always, and congrats again on the P2.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope to get one in the win column soon.
There you go. Not too far off, I don't think, from an Andy Poliski victory. But I know we're not far off from a Greg Roberts victory because we just had one. Let's bring the man up into booth 200 for the very first time. It is the one and only Greg Roberts, the race winner here tonight. Wow. Congratulations. That was awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm just blown away. Never thought this would happen.
I mean, you were running up front. Pretty much all night. Won your heat race, of course. Then on that, the one and only restart that we had here tonight, a little bit of contact with Brandon Vyers, but did you think you were going to have him anyway?
What happened there was I just got a good run out of 2, I believe it was. Tried to get between him and the wall, tried to put my nose there, try to prevent him from getting the outside. But I guess he came up, kind of put himself in the wall. And I could be wrong in that situation. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it back, but I'll go apologize if I'm wrong, and I guess just handle it.
Now that's, I think, is the only downside to this incredible night that you ran, because you were up front all night in the heat race. Do you think if you would have started even a little bit further back, if you wouldn't have won your heat race, do you think you would have been up in contention?
With the amount of lap cars I was seeing, most likely, yeah. Because I felt like being in front was an advantage, because then you don't have to worry about the guys in front of you wrecking. But just more lap cars, and it was just chaos all over the place, so I don't know. It's hard to say.
Matt, what do you got for our race winner here?
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations. Tommy and I were talking about, this is a race that some drivers circle for good reasons. Some of them circle it for bad ones. Is this one that you circled and you were looking forward to here tonight? Thought you might have a shot? Or was this kind of a surprise that you ran so good on the dirt?
At the very start of the season, before it even started, I looked at the schedule and I saw this race and I was like, I gotta be there. Every other time we've ran Bristol Dirt, even at Eldora, I ran really good. I just kept getting wrecked out and just kept getting junked, I guess.
Now, oh yeah, go ahead.
You're good.
Well, I couldn't have let you go without asking, because it's been on my mind all season. I've seen you in our YouTube chat, and everybody around here calls you Flink or Flinky. And I was wondering if there was a PG story that you could tell about how that name came to be.
Not really. When I first joined the league, I had this username as my Discord profile and kept on talking in the general chat. And the league owner at the time, Brandon, me and him became good friends. And he just decided one day, hey, everyone knows you as Flink, so might as well just make you that the name of your iRacing thing. So I guess that's just how this started.
That's history in the making right there. So I had always wondered that, because it's in the league name as well. And I think it was the Daytona race. I was like, oh, Flinky Roberts, and Matt said, who is that? I said, oh, I think it's Greg, and he's like, well, maybe we shouldn't use it on there until we figure out what it is. So
yeah,
now,
you can call me Greg, Flink. I don't care. I've heard it all pretty much.
Well, we'll stick to Greg and Flinky then. Well, you've got the top spot here tonight. You've got the gold medal. Who do you want to thank here?
I want to thank my mom. She's probably watching. James, my coach. Everyone in the league, my friends, family, I guess. I want to thank Sam for, giving me a team to race for, giving me this beautiful truck to take out here, get dirty, I guess. I want to thank my friends, the league guys. I can't thank straight. I mean, this is just a same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a little overwhelming, but I tell you what, partner, you did a fantastic job here tonight. It's your best finish of the season by far. What are the goals now for the rest of the season?
I mean, probably just my main goal for the start of the season was just to get top 10s, and I've been doing that pretty good. So might as well just keep trying to do that, and if anything, try to get on the podium more. But this proves that I can run up front, I guess.
Well, I think you've got quite a few people watching on Turn 200 that are rooting for you now, and we want you to get back on the podium as well. We want to get you back up here in booth 200. You run more often like you did tonight. That's not going to be a problem. You were a superstar out there.
Yeah.
So thank you for the time, and congrats again on the win. That was spectacular.
Thank you, guys.
All righty. That's Greg Roberts, and that is how you wrap up the Turn 200 2022 season. The whole thing.
Well, we still got a lot
that
of
is
time.
A year. Yeah. that's a year in the books, though. That's 1 year of doing this.
That is true. We did. I mean, yeah. I mean, we started kind of doing some broadcasting maybe October of last year, but very intermittently. But you're right. As far as full time, kind of doing this thing, this is going to be our last broadcast until 2023, and 2022 has certainly been good to us, and we're looking for even more things to come.
So trying to do a little bit of math off the top of my head, and I think Greg Roberts is the 12th or 13th different winner that we've had on the channel here this season, maybe 14th. That number is probably way off. It's probably more, but it's great to see Greg Roberts getting a win here tonight. It's a popular win. A lot of people were pretty excited to see Greg. Maybe not Brandon Vyers so much, but that's I think that was more of a racing deal than anything. But I'll have to go back and watch it as well. Well, how do you put your stamp not only on the night but on the early window of the first 6 races of the Venom Truck Series, perhaps?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Tonight was chaotic, and before the race started, we saw how many trucks there were, and we knew it was going to be something special. We'll put it that way. But it was so much action going on. It was awesome, and I mean, honestly, so much action is kind of how we can sum up these first few races of the season. I mean, it has been just one thing after another of things happening in the Venom Truck Series, and it's just great racing to watch. I talk about this all the time in the RL Daredevil Series, where we genuinely just enjoy watching the racing, let alone broadcasting it. So to have another league like that with the Venom Truck Series, it's great for us.
I want to appreciate the 2 subscribers that we picked up here tonight. Not 100% sure who they are. Their names are not showing up. But if you're one of the 2 people that subscribed here tonight, appreciate you. And if you're not somebody who subscribed tonight and you're still watching, well, you can change that right now. Go ahead and scroll down just a little bit, hit the subscribe button, hit the like on the stream as well. Every little bit helps. We've picked up in the last month, we've picked up so many subscribers, mainly all off of one event. But the Venom Truck Series has done wonders for us. We're so happy and so thankful, like Matt said, to get to watch this group of drivers week in and week out and watch them do what they do best, which is race trucks. And yeah, this is the end of the 2022 calendar for Turn 200. We've got some more racing action for you after the holiday season. We'll be back with a Truck 200 recruitment race at Homestead, Miami on Monday, January 2nd. That'll start. That lobby will open up at 7 o'clock Eastern. It'll start at 8 o'clock Eastern. And then the night after that, we'll have the What Turn 455 for the Venom Truck Series at Pocono the following night on January 3rd. And that's the next time that we'll be in action here. Hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday season and a happy new year as well. Matt, partner, appreciate the time as always, and looking forward to getting to see you here in not too long as well. So I gotta hope that the snow holds off for us here as the holidays approach here in the next few days. But that's it. That's it for the broadcast here tonight. That's it for Turn 200 in 2022. For the greatest stream producer of all time, that is the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. I've been Tommy Cook. Until we meet again on Turn 200, we say so long from virtual Dirt Bristol Motor Speedway, where Greg Roberts, Flinky, stands tall here tonight with the Venom Truck Series. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.